protect here. I have a few videos. I have 4 actually, so I have quite the work to do. Explaining. I have 4 videos. Right, we're playing Modern Warfare 3 in the background because I was just in a few pro-choice lives, and I was hearing. I think I got stupider being in the presence of those lives. So this video is actually called "Why You Shouldn't Join Pro-Choice Lives." Right. There's only a few pro-choice lives someone should join. Meatball, like someone like that, TIFF 2025. That's the exception. But most pro-choice lives you shouldn't join, right? For a few reasons, right? Pro-choicers are not engaged with having a conversation, most of them, and they're not interested in changing their minds. It's a power trip, right? If you see my lives, the fact that I even allowed people to disagree with me is generous. I allow people to speak. I have debated with people for hours, like 3 hours sometimes, right? So
Mission failed. Return to base.
the thing is, right? So the thing is, right? Pro-choice lives. The second you say something intelligent, they'll mute you or they'll block you. In many cases, if you say, oh, they'll ask you, do you give a rape exception? They'll say, if you say no, they'll block you, they'll drop you. Like the second you say something intelligent, they'll block you because that's how the left, it's how pro-choicers operate, like Antifa. The thing is that they claim people of being fascist, right? They accuse people of being fascist, but they completely silence all opposition. And I don't know what fascism is, but again, I'm not accusing people to be a fascist, right? The fact that you because they don't believe in free speech, right? Obviously. They don't. They if you disagree with them, they don't want you to talk. They don't want you to have a voice, right? It's a power trip. They're not interested in changing their minds. It's this an echo chamber. They want their opinions to bounce off the walls and affirm what they already believe. They're not interested in changing their minds, right? So what's the point? Why even host a live, right? There's no point in going to a pro-choice live at all. And most of them are like this. I completely forget what I was going to say. But there's no point. You can't even get a word in. You get dropped. Now, to be fair, some pro-life lives are like this, right? But I try to keep them, my lives, I try to keep them fair. You're basically debating 5 against 1, which is not even fair, right? Here's what they said, right? And they said some stupid things. The first thing they said was Charlie Kirk said he enticed violence. What they were referring to is because Charlie Kirk said guns should be allowed, violence should be allowed because people should have guns, basically, right? Or he would be okay with violence, which is obviously not true. So the video, it's been a long time since I've seen it, but I know what they're referring to. They're referring, okay, now he's modding. They're referring to a point, they're referring to a time where Charlie Kirk was saying, if you allow guns, the utility of having guns, right, is something society will have to, unfortunately, deal with, right? And because if you have guns, there's of course people are going to misuse it. And if I remember, he specifically mentioned cars for an example. Now, many people die from cars. Many people are run over by cars. Many people die from car accidents. So when you allow cars to be sold on the market, right, you acknowledge that a lot of people are going to die, and that's something you're going to have to deal with. That's true. But does that mean we should ban cars because people are going to die by driving cars? No, I don't think anybody's going to advocate for that. Because the negative of not having cars at all would probably be worse. And let's be honest, that's something that everybody agrees with. Everybody drives cars. Most people do. I don't see anybody advocating to ban cars. I don't see anybody doing that, right? So what he's trying to illustrate is there's obviously a utility to society for a citizen to have a gun. Like, if somebody breaks into your house, how are you going to stop them? Right? And mind you, the bad guys also have the guns. So if you don't have one, how are you going to stop them? Yeah, I thought so, right?
We lost that round. Prepare for the next one.
So another point was, it's just, this shows you how bad faith pro-choice lives are. So, a pro-choicer said the F slur, right? And then Serendipity, a pro-lifer, very good, he's very intelligent guy, right? He dropped from the panel, and then the host accused Serendipity of saying the F slur. You see how bad faith pro-choice lives are? Like, no wonder, like, if you're pro-life, no wonder you would never want to be pro-choice if that's your experience to these people. Because these people have no interest in changing other people's minds. Or having their mind changed. They're so closed-minded. Why would I ever join a pro-choice live, right? Like Dean, somebody like Dean or Parker. Would Dean or Parker ever debate on a neutral playing ground? Yeah, sometimes. Maybe Jubilee, maybe Piers Morgan. But like, in a formal debate where it's neutral playing ground, right? Would they ever do a debate? No, they wouldn't. Because they know they're not going to debate unless they can mute people. So that is why, in my opinion, pro-choice lives, never join them. Never join them. That's how I've actually been exposed to some pro-lifers. I've seen them debate on pro-choice lives, and it's either 5 against 1, or they get muted before they say anything. I don't mute people for no reason. I only mute them if they're interrupting like 500 times, they're out of control, or they say something disgusting and vile, or they're not answering questions, right? I try to keep it as fair as possible. So, that is why I should not join pro-choice lives. I still have a lot more videos to make in a short amount of time, so stay tuned. But, they're literally canceled. Don't ever join a pro-choice live.
This
at all.
area's been looted.
Like I said, they're not really interested. That's how they practice. That's how they came into power. That's what they believe. They just look at an organization like Antifa. You think Antifa wants to engage with people? No, they're going to shut you up. You're really proving the point. Why do you think Charlie Kirk was killed? People don't want to debate him. At least some people don't. They killed him. Why engage with somebody that can just shoot you? I don't have to listen to you. They just kill you. So, no, he did not support his own death, and his actions were not related to his own death. Again, he said what he meant was, if you have this thing, there's going to be negative consequences. That's just a natural conclusion. You have cars, people are going to die from cars, obviously. So that's this video.